Hello, and welcome to another 1-month recap of Goodnight English. Thank you so much for subscribing. It's the second month of the channel already, and I'm so surprised to see the number of subscriptions grow. Hopefully you've enjoyed some nice relaxing English, maybe even gone to sleep listening to it, and maybe you actually learned something. So let me introduce 5 new phrases from this past month. The first phrase I'd like to introduce is I wish. The second phrase is take one's time. The third phrase is remind someone of. The fourth phrase is make it. And the last phrase I'd like to introduce is in terms of. Okay, let's begin with our first phrase, I wish. Maybe in the last recap video, you heard me say, I hope. And if you can remember, I hope is when you're expecting a possible future, something that actually could happen. The difference here with I wish is that it's something that cannot happen. So we always use this when we are longing for something. For example, I wish I were taller. I would play basketball if I were. So as you can see, I can't grow taller. I have reached already my maximum height. In business, you might hear this from your coworker saying something like, I wish we could have more days off. Another use of I wish is when you want to give somebody a greeting. For example, I wish you a Merry Christmas, or I wish you a happy birthday. Of course, it's possible that they have a happy birthday or a Merry Christmas. So this is only used when you want to kind of share your thoughts with somebody. But please remember that when you use I wish, it's usually for something that is not likely to happen. The second phrase I'd like to introduce is take one's time. So you might have heard me say, I really took my time today at the gym. Take one's time means that you do something slowly and don't rush. Don't confuse this with take time or take money or take energy. If you want to know how long it takes for something to happen, you might say, it takes 1 hour or 2 hours to get from here to Nagoya. However, he really took his time with this report means that he didn't rush the report and maybe he did it very carefully. So take one's time and take time are slightly different. Another good use of take one's time in business would be when you give a task to one of your coworkers and you say, don't worry, there's no rush for this. You can take your time in doing it. The third phrase is remind me of. You might have heard me say something like, it reminds me of mansplaining in the US. Also, you might remember last recap video when I said, it seems like, or it seems. It reminds me of is very similar here. So maybe when I say something like, it seems really soft, I can also say, it reminds me of something soft. When I say it seems, I use an adjective. When I say it reminds me of, I need to use a noun. So it reminds me of something soft. In a business situation, you might hear reminds me of in a sentence like, this situation reminds me of 4 years ago. Do you remember? We have to be a little bit more flexible this time. The fourth phrase I'd like to introduce is make it. You might have heard me say, make it back, as in, I hope I can make it back someday to put up the decorations with my family. Make it means to arrive at your destination or arrive at your goal. Another example of make it is, what time are we going to make it to the mountain? I can't wait to see all the beautiful views. In business, you might hear somebody say, the deadline is coming soon. I hope we can make it. We might have to work all weekend, but I think we can make it. Or somebody might ask you, what time are you going to make it to my house? It simply means, what time do you think you will arrive at my house? You can use different prepositional phrases after this expression. To make it back, meaning returning to my house. Make it to somewhere means going to the destination. The last phrase is in terms of. This is very similar to regarding, or you might remember in the last video when I said when it comes to. It works exactly the same as when it comes to. If you can remember, when it comes to my family, I'll sacrifice anything. In terms of my family, I'll sacrifice anything. All of these work the same, and as you can see, this is a type of expression that we use a lot when we want to draw the listener or reader to a certain topic. We use this phrase when it comes to, regarding, or in terms of. It's always followed by a noun. So, again, in business, in terms of sales, we did quite well this quarter. Or, just in your casual life, in terms of my health, I think I'm doing quite well. Well, that's it. Those are the 5 phrases that I wanted to recap this month. Thank you again so much for watching the videos. I can't believe how many have watched, and hopefully more join us, who knows. Please tell your friends to check it out. And as always, I hope you have a good night.